Hi, I'm Gwen. Here's what I played in spring 2025. I started back in March with Yakuza 4. I really liked this one. It was a huge step up from Yakuza 3. The combat felt a whole lot better than 3's did, though it's still not quite as good as Yakuza 0. The story in this one was a lot more interesting than Yakuza 3, though it did have some pacing issues. They clearly wanted all four protagonists to have four chapters each, even though some of them did not have four chapters worth of content in their story. I did think it was kinda strange that you play through each character's entire story in one go, and it was weird that they saved Kiryu for last, but I still enjoyed the story overall. Overall, I'd say Yakuza 4 is one of the better ones in the series, at least in my opinion. Next, I played what is one of the best Game Boy games ever made. What? I did play the entire game. I don't know why. After that, I finally went back and finished Fire Emblem Engage. Gameplay wise, this game is a huge step forward. It's probably the most fun Fire Emblem game. Pretty much everything about the combat is an improvement on past entries. Though personally, I didn't really like the break system, where getting hit by a weakness prevents counterattacks. It's probably just a skill issue on my part. I suck at Fire Emblem. While I love this game's gameplay, I can't say the same for the story. It's fine enough at its best, and kinda bad at its worst. I flat out completely lost investment towards the end of the game, and that just does not typically happen with me. I mentioned it in my last video, but I really liked the art style of this game. I hope they keep this more vibrant anime look moving forward, though they do need to fix the issues with models clipping into themselves. It was kinda noticeable early on. It got outright distracting towards the end. There were some emotional scenes where characters are dying and their arms going straight through their clothes. Also, the main villain has a crown or horns, I'm honestly not sure, and they go directly through his collarbone in his default stance in most scenes that he's in. I don't know how these issues even got into the final version of the game. It's pretty bad. I'm glad I played this game, though it's definitely my least favorite Fire Emblem that I've played, even with the gameplay being as great as it is. Next, I finally went back and finished Pikmin 4. I played it for like a week last year before getting really sucked into Shin Megami Tensei 5. In the months since then, I got it in my head that I didn't really like Pikmin 4, mainly because it's so different from Pikmin 1. Coming back to it, the game's a ton of fun. I don't know why I thought that way. I wish they'd make a full game that really feels like Pikmin 1. Maybe 3 does. I haven't actually played that one yet. That being said, they did make a side mode that kinda is styled after Pikmin 1. It's decent. It's clear that the maps were not made for that style of game design, but it's really cool that they made it. Overall, Pikmin 4 is great, but I do still prefer Pikmin 1. Throughout the last couple months, I've still been playing Rift of the Necrodancer. Since my last video, I've been slowly chipping away at hard mode in the game. I'm not very good at rhythm games, but I somehow managed to clear all hard mode tracks, except for one of the Pizza Tower songs. There's still another difficulty after that, however, Impossible mode, and it definitely lives up to its name. Somehow I managed to clear 3 tracks. I don't think I'll be able to clear any more of them. Since my last video, they've put out 4 free DLC tracks and 8 paid DLC tracks. The free stuff was really nice of them. I would have paid for all of that. And the paid DLC was also cool, with tracks from Celeste and Pizza Tower. I kind of wish they had new remixes of the songs rather than just the original song with some minor changes to fit the game better. But it's whatever. Celeste is one of my favorite games of all time, so of course I loved those tracks. I do wish they did the full version of Reach for the Summit, but I get why they didn't. As for the Pizza Tower tracks, I've never played the game, but I really like the tracks that they have. I do really need to play that game at some point. Anyways, I still really love Rift of the Necrodancer. I will absolutely be buying all the DLC they make for this game. Next, I started playing Dragon's Crown Pro. I picked this one up from a used game store a while back, purely because it was by the developers of one of my favorite games, 13 Sentinels. I did not expect this game to be an arcade beat-em-up. I've always had a huge soft spot for arcade beat-em-ups. Some of my earliest memories are playing Sega Genesis games like Streets of Rage 2 and Golden Axe. I love the genre, and I was really happy to find out that Dragon's Crown is one of them. This game's really fun. It can get a bit too chaotic at times, but it's really enjoyable. Though it definitely feels like a play it in short bursts kind of game. You can kind of tell it was originally made for the PS Vita. I really love the art style of this game, as I do for all Vanillaware games. Though some of the character designs and animations in this game are a bit much. I'm around halfway through this game at this point. I kinda fell off of a lot of games these past few months. I definitely plan on finishing it at some point, but I have no clue when. Next, I picked up Doom 2016 off of Steam for $2. It's Doom, what do you want me to say? It's perfect. I haven't finished this one yet, but like, it's Doom. Like I'm gonna play more. Next, I played through Final Fantasy 15. I loved this game. I really enjoyed the story and all the characters. The combat was a ton of fun, but it did take a bit of getting used to. It was very different from anything I've played. I did think the button mapping was a bit weird for the battle mode. For some reason they had dodge on square and attack on circle, which is the opposite of what pretty much every action game I've played does. Also, they didn't have custom button mapping for the game. There were only 3 presets and none of them were better than the default. As weird as the button mapping was, I did get used to it pretty quickly. My one complaint for the battle system was I didn't like how the magic spells worked. They felt kinda weird to aim, and making them a limited resource that you have to craft for, I just didn't mess with it too much. I do wish this game got a proper next-gen upgrade. I played the PS4 version on a PS5, and there was some pretty awful texture pop-in some sections. Even in some cutscenes, when you're paused, the textures will pop in and out. It's pretty ugly. I wish there was a better version of the game. Also, I loved this game so much that I picked up the 4 story DLC chapters. Episode Gladio was fine. It's kinda short, but it was fun. Episode Prompto's story was pretty good, but the combat was flat out awful. They made it focused on shooter combat, and it just does not feel good at all. Episode Ignis was fantastic, and Episode Arden was a ton of fun. I sunk the most time into that one. If you enjoy the game, I definitely recommend playing all 4 DLC chapters, even if Prompto's wasn't very fun. Overall, Final Fantasy 15 is a fantastic game. It's definitely my favorite game that I've played in these past couple months. Next, I picked up River City Girls when it was free on the Epic Game Store. I genuinely don't know why I haven't played this one yet. As I mentioned earlier, I love arcade beat-em-ups, and this one is really good. The Combat in this game is the perfect level of depth for an arcade beat 'em up. I really like the art style and animations. The soundtrack is really good. I really like this game's sense of humor. Everything about this game is really good. I haven't quite finished it yet, but I'm still actively playing it as I record this video, so maybe I have finished it by the time the video goes up. Next, I started playing Okami HD. This game really feels like a GameCube era 3D Zelda, which Wind Waker is my second favorite game of all time, so I love that about this game. This game's really fun, but man, the camera is kinda bad. Also, I do feel like the controls on paintbrush actions are kind of imprecise, but maybe I'm just bad at the game. I really enjoy what I've played, but I haven't gotten too far into this one. Like I said earlier, I've been falling off a lot of games, and this was unfortunately one of them. I do really want to come back to it eventually, though. Next, I tried out the demo for a game called Unbeatable. Someone I follow on Twitter retweeted the trailer for this one, and it immediately caught my attention. Having played it, man, this game was designed to be for me. The main rhythm gameplay is simple but very fun. I love the soundtrack for this game. The art style is really cool. I've always really loved games that have 3D environments with 2D sprites. Everything about this game is excellent. I'll definitely be buying it when it comes out. Next, I played Nier Automata. I really liked this game. I've mentioned a couple times that I fell off a lot of games during this time. This was not one of them. This game immediately clicked for me, and I stuck with it all the way to the true ending. I really loved this game's combat. It was the perfect level of speed and difficulty for me. I had a ton of fun with it. I also really liked the open world exploration. It really reminded me of SMT5, which that game was some of the most fun I've had with an open world type game, and this game really reminded me of that. Really, my only complaint with this game is that I felt it got a bit too frustrating towards the end of the game. There were a couple very long chunks that had 0 checkpoints in them. For some reason, early on in the game there's kind of an auto-save system going on, and they just completely drop it towards the end. You are stuck with completely manual saving, and there's some very long chunks that are very hard. Aside from that one complaint, I really like this game. I really should have played it a lot sooner than now. Lastly, I replayed the first 2 chapters of Deltarune in preparation for chapters 3 and 4. I really love this game, and replaying it just reinforced my love for it. It's a fantastic game. The first 2 chapters are free. If you haven't played them yet, you have to. Do it now. Anyways, that's all I've played these past few months. Tell me what you've been up to in the comments. See you next time when I talk about this thing.